I need some heat on up in here.
I hereby declare it is officially time to retire the nickname Pandemic P. My Clippers lose Kawhi Leonard and win at Utah in Game 5 because of playoff P. Is it possible that LA is becoming Georgetown?
Okay.
Is it possible? Maybe there's a New Balance commercial in the offing here for Georgetown exits.
Can I ask you a question?
Right?
What about your MVP?
Huh?
I know, huh? Your MVP, 26-point lead.
Huh? Oh, Joel Embiid. Well, we're going to talk about that now. we should be leading with the Clippers, but unfortunately that got upstaged by that stink pit up there in Philadelphia.
What about Ice Tray?
Yeah.
Will you stop calling him Ice Tray now?
You want to do
No,
a little dance for me, Shannon? So yes, there was either a amazing comeback or a horrible collapse, and that is where we go. I want to know what Skip and Shannon have to say about it. Joel Embiid and the 76ers appeared as if they were well on their way to winning Game 5, but Trae Young scored 13 of his 39 points in the fourth quarter as the Hawks rallied back from being down 26 points to pull off the upset win in Philly. The 76ers have now blown late leads in back-to-back contests and are on the brink of elimination as the series shifts to Atlanta, with the Hawks up 3-2 at this point. So, Shannon, tell me, who is most to blame for the Sixers' collapse?
Skip, instead of just putting all the blame, I'm going to give it a percentage. I'm going to say Ben Simmons deserves 70% of the blame. I'm going to say Joel Embiid deserves 20% of the blame. And Tobias Harris, I don't know what he did yesterday, Skip. That was awful. Skip, you and I had a conversation, it might have been a week ago, about Ben Simmons, and Doc Rivers went on this rant about, y'all don't know basketball if you think I'm going to take Ben Simmons out in these situations.
That is true.
What the hell did he do last night, Skip? I said, you owe it to your team. Forget his feelings. Get him a Band-Aid for his feelings. Let him cover him up. But you got to have guys in there that can make free throws.
And by the way, Doc admitted after the game, I may have to take him out if he can't make his free throws. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Skip, I thought the game was over. I'm not going to even lie, Skip. They were up. When they got up 20, I turned and started watching something else. And I flipped back, and I'm looking. I'm like, hold on. How did they do this? They went on this 15-0 run. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I said, nah, they go get it back, and they get it under control. And then they can never get it back under control. Trae Young started all of a sudden getting into the lane, hitting floaters. They fouled him, put him on the free throw line, Skip. But Skip, hold on. You can't be an all-NBA player. You can't be an all-star player and be a liability at the end of the game, Skip. I've never seen that before. He's an all-NBA player on the defensive side. He's an all-star.
He is.
And you can't play him late in ball games because he can't hit free throws? Skip, what is it? And again, I need to be aggressive. I'm going to be aggressive. Skip, is 4 shots aggressive? He was 2 of 4. And he said, I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to be aggressive. And 4 of 14 from the free throw line, Skip. Skip, you got Joel Embiid. He pulled a no-show in the fourth quarter. He had 5 shot attempts, 4 of them from the three-point line. See? I told you. You say, can't nobody stop him down on the block. But he don't want to spend time down there, Skip. That's that grunt work. See, everybody done fell in love with the three-point shot. Everybody done fell in love with the jumper. So nobody wants to get down there and bang and lay the ball up, which he can do at will, which he was doing in the first half, which he jumped out, had like 20 points in the first quarter. He was doing all of that stuff.
Yep.
Tobias Harris is a max contract guy, Skip. He gave you 4 points in 38 minutes.
He made $33 million this year. That's Tobias Harris, and he becomes the forgotten man. And just a quick point of order, our man Nelly texted me right after the game, and he said, how is he getting a pass? And he's right, because he gets a pass because you forget he's even out there.
You know why, Skip? Because he's supposed to be the third. He's really not that. It's not a big three, but he's the third option, supposedly the third option. So basically you go Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris, 2 of 11 last night. Whew.
4 points.
Forgotten man.
You're supposed, if you get 36 points from Seth Curry, Skip, you're supposed to win in a runaway.
You would think so. I don't know if Seth Curry can play much better than this. He can't. Right?
He can't play any better than that,
Look
Skip.
at these numbers. Whew. 13 of 19 and 7 of 12 from 3. 36 points? I mean, is that not brotherly-like?
Yeah, that's, son-in-law.
Yeah.
He did that for his pop.
Okay.
He did, Pops, I got you tonight. I'm going to drop 36 on these guys. And then Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris does this. Skip, you can't lose a game like this. You up 26, Skip. This is unacceptable. But Ben Simmons, you're going to get 70%. I'm going to give Joel Embiid 20%. And Tobias Harris, you get 10% because I really never expected that much out of you anyway. But those two big guns, Skip, you got to bring that one home. You got a 26-point lead.
Okay. I hear everything you say. And before I launch on the Sixers, I do want to give credit to your man, Ice Tray, because he was very good last night, especially protecting the basketball. He didn't turn it over, and he did all the right things to lead their comeback with a lot of help from a guy that you once called Lemon Pepper Lou,
Sweet Lou.
from Atlanta, GA, right?
Yep.
And he went to Magic City last night during this game, right?
He was had it going, Skip.
Okay, so he helped sort of ramrod the comeback.
Yep.
But Ice Tray helped finish it off, and I'll get to all the above later. So he definitely deserves credit, as do all of them. They played supreme level of basketball. All of them. They all chipped in along the way. But this was a collapse of epic proportion. This is an all-timer. And I saw a stat this morning that over the last 25 years, when the Philadelphia 76ers have held a lead of 26 or more points, they were 165-0. So they've never, ever lost a game the way they lost this game. And I'm going to remind everybody, they had an 18-point lead at Atlanta in Game 4.
Yep.
So back-to-back nights, 18-point lead, 26-point lead, LL. Okay, the one man you didn't give any blame to, any percentage of blame, is the head coach. And I love Doc Rivers, and I've said it 1,001 times on this show. If I could play for anybody in the NBA, I would want to play for that man.
Right.
But just as Tobias Harris doesn't deserve any pass, neither does Doc. Because, Shannon, I got to bring this up. Are we seeing a pattern here of Doc coach teams? What happened in the bubble last year to my Clippers?
What,
Kawhi
19,
and Paul
16,
George.
and 12?
It was 16, 19, and 12.
Okay.
Those are the leads that they had in games 5, 6, and 7 with a 3-1 lead over the Denver Nuggets in the bubble in the second round of the playoffs last year. Up 16 in the first closeout, 19 in the second, and 12 in the third closeout game, and could not close one of those deals. And by the way, just quick aside, in those 3 closeout games, Lemon Pepper Lou, Sweet Lou, he was 10 of 32, which is 31% from the floor, which is horrendous, and 2 of 11 from 3. So you could effectively say he beat Doc last night just the way he helped beat Doc in the bubble when he was actually a Clipper and helped lose Doc's job, right?
Yep.
Okay, so, Mr. Sharp, I submit to you that my eye test is telling me that these Doc coach teams are not responding. Maybe it's not a strategic change that they're all sort of embracing and saying, oh, well, let's do that. Let's switch to this.
Right.
Meanwhile, Doc's successor with the Clippers keeps pushing every right button. So it's glaring to me because I watch Doc's team and then I watch Ty Lue's team and I say, look what he's doing. Ty Lue's going small against Gobert and company. He's just going small, 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 but just about the whole game. Obviously, he's resorted to some zones. He's pushed this button and that button. He's pushing the Terrence Mann button. He's playing a second-year kid who stayed all 4 years at Florida State, and he's getting high mileage out of him. So Doc is pushing no right buttons because doesn't it look like a repeat of what happened in the bubble? Doesn't it look like way up, can't close it? Okay, so in the end, it's almost the same problem with the Sixers that it was with the Clippers. You say, who's the quarterback? Who's the point guard who's going to organize you and get you home? Right. Well, I thought it was Ben Simmons. They don't have a true point. They don't have a small, a 6'3" point guard.
Right.
They don't even have a playoff Rondo, who, by the way, escaped mothballs or the doghouse last night and actually played 9 minutes. But the point is, it's up to Ben Simmons to kind of be the point forward, except there's a big problem in the second half. He's running from the free throw line and running from the basketball. He doesn't really want to touch the basketball because he's afraid they're going to foul him and send him to the line. Correct?
That James Harden trade is looking worse and worse now. Because they could have had James Harden for Ben Simmons. Imagine Harden and Embiid in the pick and roll.
Okay. Well, fair point. So the point is, they can't get organized when it's time to go get a bucket. It's up to Seth.
Because he don't want the ball.
Yeah.
You can't put the ball in his hands.
Either Seth is going to kind of dribble, create, step back, make a three,
Right.
or